to know what she's looking at.
So first I gotta turn on the light, get my cool blender, plug it in, or else it's not gonna work. So then I have to get my fruit, or else how else am I gonna make this smoothie? This is what it is. Mango berry blend. Got some ice. The mango berry blend. This is some unsweetened almond and breeze milk. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is gonna get my 1 cup measurement and my 2 cup measurement. Then I'm going to get my blender, and we have to make sure that it's clean on the inside. The struggle of blenders. Sad. And then we're gonna get mango berry blend, which has mango, strawberries, and blueberries. Mango berries is just unsweetened vanilla, and we have approximately 10 pieces of ice, which are about finger length. Just trying to show my cup measurements here. 2 cup, 1 cup. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and break up my mango berry blend so I can easily pour it into my 2 cup measurements. Now, considering all the space in between, I figured maybe this is only 1 cup, so I might add another cup because all the space in between. So I'll just add another 2 cup measurement of this fruit. Just wanted to hurry up and tuck away all the fruits into all the corners. So I'm gonna put another 2 cups measurement in there because of all the space in between. So now let's just break it up to get it in all the spaces evenly. So I'm just gonna close up my fruit and put it to the side. Now I'm going to measure my milk in 1 cup. And I'm going to pour it into the blender. So I'll put in 2 pieces of ice. Close the blender, and let's get blending. You can imagine how loud this was. Blend time. So this was my first time using a blender, so I didn't really understand how it worked, but I eventually got it. And it was super loud, so I had to keep taking quick pauses in between because of the ice. So you can imagine how thick this was because it's frozen fruit and a little bit of milk. As you can see in the video, it's very thick. Like, not even smoothie thick. So I decided I should add another, cup of milk. So after that, it looked about right. So I said, okay, let's continue to blend. Then it started to become more smoothie-like. So you can see it's more of a paste, and that is great. So I decided maybe I should add some more ice. But then I figured, well, these ice pieces are way too thick. So I got a cutting board and a knife, and I decided to cut all 10 pieces in half. So, well, now it's 8 pieces. So I had about 16 pieces of ice, and I put it in the blender. And so I'm just cleaning up my mess, putting the cutting board away. And surprisingly, the ice was very easy to cut. But now I'm going to blend it again. So as I just showed you there was a few ice chunks in there, and I wanted to continue blending it until it got smooth and there was no chunks inside. But that was very hard to achieve. Like, that goal was really hard. You can see me struggling to get all those thick pieces of ice away, and I just kept looking and blending and looking and blending, and it just wasn't going away. So I later figured that all the ice pieces were going towards the corners and nowhere else. So I figured maybe I could push the ice pieces down towards the bottom so they could blend closer to the bigger blades, and then they could blend faster. Well, let's see if that works. As you just saw, 2 of the ice pieces just flew up to the top, and that wasn't useful. At this point, there was so much smoothie everywhere, and it was actually shaking the counter. I could barely hold it down. And then my camera fell. So I propped it back up the right way, and then I got back to making my smoothie. So as you can see, it's more of a smoothie texture about now, because you can see it's just more of a thick paste texture, which is exactly what we're going for. So I continued trying to get rid of the thick ice pieces, just getting rid of them. Demolish them. I don't even know what that means. So it got more of a thicker, smoother texture about now. So I was like, yes, this is perfect. But the only thing was, there was still ice chunks in there. So I continued to blend and blend and blend and blend. Excuse my fatness right there. Oh yeah, and make sure to type #ninja in the comments down below if you have this same blender, these same containers in the background, or these same measuring cups. And if you want a shout out, make sure you type #shoutout, because that will be very useful. So #ninja if you have any of these tools I'm using, and #shoutout if you want a shout out. So at this point, I added some more fruit because it was getting too thin, because the ice was melting and it was getting really thin. So I added more fruit. And at that point, I realized, oh my gosh, I forgot to put the fruit back in the freezer. So I just had a whole bunch of melted fruit all over my counter, and that wasn't really good. So I hurried up, put the fruit back in there. And as you can see, it got more of a thicker texture by this point. And that was great. So right now I am looking for these cups that I had. They were really special. They're like these tall, thin cups, and they looked really fancy, but I couldn't find them, so I decided I'll just put it in a really big cup that I had. So it was this really big jar. It's bigger than my fist, and this can compare how much smoothie I made. So it was really thick, and like when I say really thick, I mean really thick. Like I couldn't get it out. So by this point, I kind of just, gave up. I said, let's go with the upside down tactic. That didn't work. Barely got any of it out. So by this point, I decided to go with plan C, which is, we all know what that is. Take the top off and go crazy. So I was trying to even everything out so there's no space bubbles in the middle of my cup. And so that's what you see me doing here. Just trying to even everything out. And make sure you guys all watch till the end. I know this is very long. Bear with me. I understand your pain. I'll try and do short videos because, no one likes a long video. Unless it's an actually satisfying video. When I say this smoothie was thick, I mean it was real thick. Like, you can see how thick I meant it was. By this point, I was done leveling everything out, so I put the spoon in, I put the straw in, and I just decided, well, maybe I should add some frozen fruit on the top. So you know what I did? That's just what I did. I went in the freezer, got my melted fruit, and I put some on top. So I gotta tell you, when I say this smoothie looked fancy, I mean this smoothie looked fancy. Like a spoon, straw, and frozen fruit on top of a smoothie. That looked fancy. So, you know what I always like to do? I like to clean up my mess, leave the video go. So yeah, I'm just cleaning up, just fixing everything up, organizing, the usual. Wiping down the counter, putting the cups away, leaving a clear space for my camera to keep their eye on that delicious smoothie. Now here are some pictures of my delicious smoothie on how fancy it looked. It was actually really delicious.
Let's try this.
See that here.
That's really good. I love it. It tastes like a cold tropical. It's good. You should try it. As we went through the video, I said all my measurements and stuff. So you can make this too. By the way, this is bigger than my fist. really big. This is breakfast. Enjoy your